copy in my hand. I'm a very expressive person. I'm the squiggle, okay? And I ask a lot of questions, and I definitely engage the crowd because it's part of my personality. So as we do my section, I want you to engage with me during the conversation. So we're going to have some fun. Thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me here today to present and to address this cool topic of natural laws, the DNA for life, okay? To me, the next 10 minutes, we're going to tap into what I call your nest, okay? Your nest. So remember that word, nest.
Are you saying nest or nest?
Nest, N-E-S-S. And some of you who maybe have watched the movie You, Me, and Dupree, write that one down if you haven't. You'll understand kind of where I'm going with the word nest, because I'm going to ask you about that. Now, your nests are characteristics that define you as a human being, okay? What's in your core? The core of who you are. What's that inner fire that drives you? Okay, think about this. I'm trying to help you think about your nest. That inner fire that drives you. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What do you show the world? Because the world is about perception. Well, is what they see in you the reality of who you are? Or are you putting on a different face, depending on the circumstances that you're in? Okay? So what do you show the world? How do you treat people? DNA for life. How do you treat people? Okay? So let's discuss some of this stuff. And to me, you will start to connect those questions that I just presented with some natural laws. Okay? How do we as people respond to natural laws? Natural laws. It is a body of unchanging moral principle regarded as a basis for all human conduct. So let me demonstrate some natural laws to you with a few statements, and I need your help here. Finish the sentences or finish the statement. Love thy
Neighbor.
Thou shalt not
Kill.
good versus
Evil.
good versus
Bad.
Great.
good versus great. Right versus
Wrong.
when I say, tell me, what is the golden rule? What do you think of? Okay, so a golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. Okay, here's another one. Where there's a will,
There's a way.
okay, what goes up must come. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
Well, what do you think it is?
Take me away.
All
right. So, I threw in those last two just for fun, but with exception to those last two, what we feel strongest about guides us. It guides us in our behaviors, and we then face the consequences of our decisions. So when I was saying some of those statements, where did the answer that you gave me come from?
Your moral compass.
Your moral compass, your core, the lessons you've learned since you were a baby. Would you say that's pretty valid? Okay. So to me, natural law is in the world around us, observing, learning, and then having a reaction that also can create consequence. And behaving upon those things in a way that you are guiding yourself along a path, making decisions based on your moral compass. So, for me, natural law is a very peaceful place. If you've been brought up with a lot of strength in that moral compass. Is that fair to say? Okay. Well, I want to apply natural laws to business and to leadership. So, in my last, or two Coffee Connections ago, I presented on the concept of leadership lessons from geese. So some of you guys have heard this, but we're going to go through it, and I want to spend some time hearing how you perceive some of the lessons from geese. Okay, so to me, geese are pretty intriguing. They're intriguing creatures. Many actually think that they're kind of pest-like. But after today, I hope that you can watch those birds fly and appreciate some of the beauty in the natural laws that we're going to connect with their lessons today. So, let's consider some of the fascinating facts that have been studied about geese. And I want you to think about it in terms of, I'm going to tell you a statement, and I want to hear what you think the lesson in that statement actually is. Okay? So here we go. And we're talking about leadership skills. So kind of keep it in that framework. Fact number 1. As each goose flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the birds that follow. By flying in a V formation, the whole flock adds 71% greater flying range than if each bird flew alone. What's the lesson?
Unification. Partner.
Partnering, unification,
Success in numbers.
success in numbers,
Teamwork.
teamwork. Here's the lesson, and it brings all of that together. People who share a common direction and sense of community can get where they are going quicker and easier because they are traveling on the thrust of one another. Okay? Fact number 2. When a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of flying alone. It quickly moves back into formation to take advantage of the lifting power of the bird immediately in front of it. What's the lesson? Gets off the track, and it realizes it needs to get back on. What's the lesson?
Much harder to do it by yourself.
So realizing that if we have as much sense as the geese, as that goose, if we stay in formation with those headed where we want to go, we are willing to accept their help, and we give our help to others. So, remind me of your name?
Danielle.
Danielle. So I met Danielle, and Danielle's working on delegating new jobs and new roles to new staff, right? So in some ways, this really could apply to you because now you have to have some sense like a goose, and you need to help people get in your formation, and if they get off track, bring them back or help them, and they need to. So this is why I love this stuff. Natural laws, you guys, we're learning from just almost innate behavior. Does that make sense? Okay. Fact number 3. When the lead goose gets tired, it rotates back into the formation, and another goose flies to the point position. What's the lesson?
Can't do it alone.
Can't do it alone.
Share responsibility.
Share responsibility. Don't be afraid to let someone else take a lead role and develop them. Sure. the hard tasks, and sharing leadership. As with geese, people are interdependent on each other's skills, capabilities, and unique arrangements. There's talents and gifts and resources in all of us. So discover your diamonds, discover your squiggles, discover your circles, discover your squares, and discover your pyramids in your groups, and celebrate those pieces and allow some leadership out of each one of them in a way that just makes the system that you're working with even better. Does that make sense? Okay. Fact number 4. These geese flying in formation honk to encourage those in front to keep up their speed. They honk. What's the lesson?
Communicate.
Communicate. Encourage. Positivity. Natural law. Treat others like you would want to be treated. Golden rule. Because I want to be honked at. They want to get honked at. Let's all rise together. Is that fair?
Is that what we're doing on the road?
That's another kind.
With encouragement to gather, that's always fun.
But I'm going to ask you, are you a honker? Are you encouraging other people? Are you being that positive person? Because in the world of natural law, it'll come back to you, won't it? When you give, you receive. Right? Okay, so fun. All right, fact number 5. When a goose gets sick, wounded, or shot down, 2 geese drop out of formation and follow it down to help. We will stand by each other in difficult times as well as when we are strong. Natural laws. So I think it's really, any questions about this? I hope it's kind of connecting the dots with natural law, with the systems that we're using, with
She has a question.
personalities. Yes.
I have a question. I think that also to me it means everyone counts. And it
Everyone
reminds
counts.
me of your story of the bagger. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
swan. Yeah, because, you know, I don't know, that could have been a geese on the ground, but instead it was like almost like the lead.
That's true. And what she's referring to, and you guys should probably write this down, and I want you to explore it online. Johnny the Bagger. Has anyone ever heard that story? Johnny the Bagger? Write this down, you guys, and get a good YouTube video or somewhere in your bailiwick of tools. That story, Johnny the Bagger, is powerful because Johnny could have been considered that weak geese. That weak goose. But do you want to know what he became? He became the front of the V. And he led a grocery store in Pennsylvania to new heights in revenue growth and so forth, simply by doing something creative that was phenomenal. Johnny the Bagger is a great story for customer service, but it also does tap into the natural laws. And I'll tell you what, Johnny the Bagger was a gentleman with Down syndrome, and they allowed him to celebrate an idea that became a phenomenal tool for that group's success. So, natural law. Don't discount people. Figure them out. Figure out their personality. Tap into that strength. Ask the right questions in the grid. And then celebrate the successes together. I find the DNA for life very grounding because we all have commonalities in the messaging that we've grown up around, I would say. So here, in addition to Johnny the Bagger, here is a request I have for you for homework. Look into the lessons of bees. Look into the lessons of ants. And for all of you Wolfpack fans, look into the lessons of wolves and figure out what in those natural laws and their behaviors you can take away from that and implement into your own world, because they're teaching us a lot. And it's worth having an awareness and a vision for it and recognizing and seeing it, okay? So, find your nest. Feel your inner fire. See your life's vision. Use the lessons that we just talked about today as a roadmap and implement these systems that have been learned today from the DNA of people, the DNA of business, and then DNA for life, so that you have a toolkit that is your DNA for success. I want to see that the people in and around my world that I interact with at my coffee connections, I want to see them grow and develop. I want to see them not just survive, but thrive, right? It's so much fun when we get together, because every week that energy just flows and we all walk away from our coffee connection feeling like I'm ready to tackle and conquer this day. And I've got a whole bunch of geese around me. So let's go and do it together. And if you need anything, we're here for you. Find those people. Create that board of directors for yourself. And be a part of something bigger, which to me, a lot of this operating system represents.
Thank you, Jenny.
Am I done? Sorry.
Yeah.